Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the terrifying twists of fate and Smile, exploring the tragic endings of Joel and Skye Riley. Get ready for a chilling breakdown of how the curse of the Smile entity spreads, traps its victims, and leads to their horrifying final moments. Let's jump right in. 6 days after Rose Cotter's death, Joel, now cursed by the Smile entity, tries to pass on the curse, hoping to end his suffering. He confronts 2 brutal criminals, but things quickly spiral out of control. During a violent shootout, Joel accidentally kills an innocent bystander. In a tragic twist, the curse passes to Louis Fragoli, a drug dealer who witnessed the event. Now free from the curse, Joel tries to escape from the criminals. But fate has other plans. In a heartbreaking moment, Joel is struck by a truck and killed. His tragic end serves as a painful reminder of the relentless horrors tied to the Smile entity, an entity that shows no mercy. As Joel's curse spreads, we turn to pop star Skye Riley, whose nightmare begins after the shocking death of Louis Fragoli. Skye, struggling with substance abuse and the tragic loss of her boyfriend Paul, seeks solace from Louis, her former schoolmate. Despite recovering physically from an injury, Skye's visit takes a terrifying turn. She witnesses Louis' erratic behavior, complete with violent seizures and a disturbing smile. Then, in a shocking moment, Louis fatally injures himself. Terrified, Skye flees the scene, but not before making a fateful decision not to alert the authorities. Little does she know this choice seals her fate, entangling her in the Smile entity's curse. As Skye becomes more entrenched in the curse, her mind begins to unravel. After witnessing Louis's horrific death, she's plagued by disturbing hallucinations, people smiling at her, strange visions, all signs that the Smile entity is closing in. As her health declines, Skye reaches out to her estranged friend Gemma, hoping for support. But things take a darker turn when Skye receives a cryptic text message warning her that someone knows what happened at Louis's apartment, and she's in grave danger. At a fundraiser, hosted by music executive Darius, Skye's mental state deteriorates further. She begins hallucinating a malfunctioning teleprompter during her speech and confesses that her success hasn't made her life better. In a fit of panic, Skye accidentally injures an elderly guest. The hallucinations intensify, and Skye spirals deeper into madness, unable to escape the grip of the Smile entity. Desperate for answers, Skye meets Morris, a man who's been tracking the Smile entity ever since his brother died under mysterious circumstances. Morris reveals that the curse passes to anyone who witnesses a victim's death and explains that the Smile entity is parasitic. It can only survive if it has a host. Desperate to break free, Morris proposes a radical solution, stopping Skye's heart long enough to break the curse, then reviving her. But as Skye's fear escalates, she panics and flees when she's recognized by a patron at a bar. Later, alone in her apartment, Skye faces the ultimate horror. The Smile entity takes its terrifying form, shape-shifting into the appearance of her backup dancers, and corners her in her own home. Skye tries to escape, but she's violently thrown around, helpless as a giant arm forces its way down her throat. In the final horrifying moment, Skye loses consciousness as the entity takes full control. A flashback reveals Skye caused Paul's death by intentionally crashing the car during a drug-induced argument. Later, Skye awakes at a retreat and argues with Elizabeth over the upcoming tour. Suddenly, Elizabeth smiles, smashes a mirror, and repeatedly stabs herself with a shard. Skye attempts to leave, but to her horror, realizes she fatally stabbed Elizabeth. Skye escapes the retreat and reunites with Gemma, stealing a car to meet Morris. Skye then gets a call back from Gemma, causing her to realize that the Gemma who had been with her all week was the entity. After regaining control of the car, Skye meets Morris, where they plan to use the walk-in freezer to slow the process and prevent permanent damage. Morris temporarily leaves and the entity appears as Skye's former self from the car wreck. After a struggle, Skye fights it off and injects herself with a syringe meant to stop her heart. The entity, unchanged, mockingly affirms she is not in control. It then locks Skye into a ribcage apparatus and tells her to break a leg. Skye, standing on stage at Herald Square Garden, is about to perform in front of thousands. But something feels off. As her eyes scan the audience, she spots familiar faces: Elizabeth, Joshua, and Darius, all staring at her, still very much alive. In that moment, everything clicks. The past few days have been nothing but a horrifying hallucination, a sick game orchestrated by the Smile entity. As Skye's realization hits, the entity appears before her, not as a monstrous form, but as her current self. But then, in a grotesque twist, it rips open its stomach, revealing its true form. The entity reveals itself as a nightmarish, skinless creature with mouths within mouths, each one smiling, a terrifying reminder of the curse's parasitic nature. Skye screams in terror, but it's too late. The entity's influence has already taken hold. Overcome by the entity's power, Skye falls into a trance. The crowd watches in confusion as Skye begins to choke, collapsing to the ground. But this isn't just a physical collapse. Skye's fate is sealed. The entity, now fully in control, forces its way inside Skye's body. In one final terrifying moment, the entity rips Skye's mouth open, crawling inside her as if claiming her very soul. In front of thousands of horrified spectators, a possessed Skye stands up. Her eyes wide, her smile twisted, she moves toward her microphone. With no control over her actions, Skye grabs her microphone stand and, in a horrifying display, fatally stabs herself in the eye. The crowd watches in shock as Skye's lifeless body falls, her final scream echoing in the silence. The entity's curse has claimed yet another victim. From the dazzling heights of fame to the darkest depths of possession, Skye Riley's story serves as a chilling reminder of the power of the Smile entity. Its grip is unrelenting, and for Skye, there's no escape. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with all our latest content. What do you think of Skye's horrifying fate? Let us know in the comments below. And remember, stay smiling, but not too much.